good evening and welcome to the Super License F1 podcast. My name's Rodney.
My name is Zach.
Good to be talking to you, Zach, on this glorious Dare to Swear day. How are you going?
I'm good. I just noticed I didn't say, and my name is Zach. I just said, my name is Zach, like a statement. Here I am. This is my turn to talk and introduce me. I'm well. I had heard rumors, though, and maybe I started these rumors and they're coming all the way around back to me, that it's storming where you are, that it is,
oh boy,
there's Atmos and there is darkness in the skies.
This is an omen for the COVID-affected 2021 season of Drive to Survive, which we're going to be covering. As always, we watch Drive to Survive. We talk over the top. We call it Dare to Swear. And if you're a Patreon supporter, thank you, number one. Thank you. Number two, you probably know that we've already watched the season because you, in your tasty little inbox and your Patreon bonus packs, would have had our pre-season overall post-season reflection, if that makes sense. We watched the whole season and we did an immediate reaction episode, and that went out to Patreon supporters.
A hot take.
Thank you. Now it's time for everyone else to get a bit of a taste of the hot takes that Rod and Zach have got about this show, Drive to Survive, this season, the most controversial season yet. And we're going to get started very soon. So if you want to sync up with us, we'll bullshit on for another 30 seconds or so, but you can get your Netflix queued up now. We'll give you the countdown and tell you when to hit play.
Get yourself some popcorn or some sort of other Formula One themed
snack. Or some
snack.
buttered scotch.
Oh, yum.
Or some kitted cats.
What's the difference between, and this is not a joke, it sounds like a setup, but what's the difference between butterscotch and caramel?
Don't know.
No.
It does sound like what's the punchline?
There isn't a punchline. I've never thought about looking it up.
A Good Friday night.
Yeah. Oh, God. All right, I'm going to give you the countdown now. You've all got your things sorted. In 3, 2, 1.
Dun, dun,
dun, dun.
So before we get into the depths of this episode, we should probably do a prediction. How long before we hear a swear word, Zach?
25 seconds. You?
25. I'll go 37 seconds. I don't think this counts, this previously on. I don't think.
Do we have to... oh, there we go. That one. Oh, this doesn't count.
we always get way over the top. We're always like, it'll be 5 minutes, and it's like the second word is fuck or something like that.
Yeah, because the show knows its brand so well. They're like, you know what, we are. I mean, it's the name of our show. We are Dare to Swear. It's all the stuff you wouldn't see that we have to bleep. Very sweary. And now it turns out these Formula boys have a lot of dirty mouths on them. All of them.
Put the kids to bed. It's time for adults only Formula One.
F1 After Dark.
Yes. I think I have some hot opinions about the start of this season. I mean, we haven't even really... We're still watching just like a recap of like last season, previously on Drive to Survive. But once we get into it, I will get into my opinions. That's a bit of sizzle just there that I'm going to have opinions. So get ready for that.
It is the hardest time warp to wrap your brain around, to have a wrap-up really of the season, which for a show is summarizing a season. So it's like, hey, cool, here's the stuff that was from 2020.
Exactly. To your point, we've just seen a recap of 2020. Now we're seeing, in Drive to Survive, we're seeing on-screen tweets about the 2021 season, posts from people saying... Can't wait to see Drive to Survive for this season. Blah, 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 blah. I thought that was poor. I thought that is bullshit. What the fuck are you doing starting your show by hyping yourself?
Your own show. I'm here. I'm already in the cinema.
Yeah,
I'm already in the building.
Show.
I don't need it hyped at me. It's like, don't put it down because you should watch
Show
us.
me why I should be excited. Don't brag. Like, show me what's exciting about the season.
Imagine if you...
To be fair, they're doing that.
Show, don't tell. I mean, imagine if you were eating a Snickers and then halfway through the Snickers you bit into a little piece of paper that says, you know what, Snickers are great, you should enjoy Snickers. You're like, I'm eating the Snickers. I'm here.
It would be like watching the next season of Squid Game and it starts with, hey, we're just going to scroll up and down on this New York Times article about how great Squid Game was.
Exactly.
All the familiar characters in this are back. Obviously, Toto. He's pounding more things than ever before.
Yeah.
And we've got Christian Horner. We've got Lewis Hamilton. We've got George Russell already making a huge splash in the hype reel that we're starting off with. Yeah. This episode's called Clash of the Titans. I forgot to mention that before. I usually ask you to tell me.
Not very Titanic, though, with the bird song and the I think this is Christian Horner running around, and he's haunted by David Croft voiceover, the David Croft commentary of Lewis Hamilton winning the world championship. Here he is. Christian Horner's taking that personally, is what I think we're meant to read into this.
So, I mean, strange to start with Christian Horner, do you think?
100%.
Maybe, I mean, I think what's behind that question is Christian Horner's a huge character this season. Is it strange that he is that big of a character and that he's the first character that we spend time with for this season?
He's Red Bulling for 2, right? Because there's no Max, so he has to be 2. He has to be double the people for Red Bull.
Double duty,
which is fine with him. Also, come on, no one runs with their hood up.
Is that branded leisure wear? It must be cold though, running through that English countryside. And he's got shorts on.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
It's that thing of like, you lose 80% of your heat through your head. So if you wear a hoodie, you can wear and run in the nude.
That's one of those things. You don't lose all your heat through your head. You lose it evenly out of your body.
It's true, except you don't tend to wear anything on top of your head.
Yeah, so it feels cold.
It's one of those things that's true, but also nonsense. Well,
yeah, exactly. Because it's not like if you hop in bed and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to put any sheets on or any clothes on me. I'm just going to wear a woolly hat, and that will keep me warm.
Yes. Talking about it being warm, no need to stay warm when you're here. This is Bahrain, right?
Bahrain.
Everyone's rocking up. This is the sort of, this is like the college years. Everyone's left high school. They've had their summer vacation. Now they're coming back together.
Yeah, they're all here. This is just, I was telling you pre-show that I just went to Mykonos recently, and everybody, it was pre-season essentially, and everyone's turning up and opening their shops and saying hi to each other, because they're all back on the island. And I think this is what it's like. Everyone turns up to testing, and it's like, hey. The funny thing is, though, they've all been to Spain already, right?
True.
They've all already done this.
Yeah, there's nothing about testing, nothing about how they had 5 minutes of rest and then they were straight back into it.
Yeah. This always... I love this. Do it in Russian, Nikita. And he's like, okay, so say the exact same things?
I guess
what did they expect him to do?
The same both times.
I mean, imagine if somebody like, Daniel, now you've said your name and your team, now say it in Australian. He'd be like, I just said it, though. That's exactly the same.
It's the same thing. I could just do it with a bit of an accent, or you could just play the same one. Who cares? It always reminds me of, there was this episode of Full House that I remember where one of the girls was trying to learn Spanish. So they put all these signs around the house, and the house for the sofa had El Sofa on it. And the dad, in his cute way, was like, Spanish is so easy, El Sofa.
It is.
It's true.
I think this about
that's it.
French and Italian. The Italians just put O's on the end, and the French just put E's on the end. So
yeah, that's why I can speak
O's and I's.
French and Italian now.
They're exactly the same language, essentially. But I know that's not true, everybody. Don't come after me. I'm just being stupid for a funny podcast, okay? That's all it is. What I'm saying is if Ferrari was in France, it would be Ferrari. But because it's in Italy, it's Ferrari.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
So what are we seeing here? This isn't testing, right? This is getting ready for, I guess, the first practice session. But all the cars are wheeling out, or is this
Maranello?
Is this blah, blah, blah. Is this? Did he look like he wet himself?
Yeah, this looks like a video day at Maranello.
A shooting day, pre-season shooting day. This is we're jumping around. Oh, I don't like this. Why can't they just make it easy to follow?
Because this is the show, right? They've only got so much footage of all these different things. They have to capture the conversations when they happen, not where in the timeline either. If that makes sense. They're going to
shoot the driver, the famous kind of driver shot with all the drivers. That's what we're leaning up to.
This was great. I love this hipster photo shoot person who's like, yeah, I'm the creative. And all the Formula One drivers are like, I have earned more money than you will ever earn. I've earned that today.
We're famous, and the camera is doing all the work.
Yeah.
But
we are rock stars, but also absolute nerds, all of us. We are big nerds. Did they tell
Sergio Perez to take off his sunglasses?
No, they told him to turn around and then turn back to the camera and give us a little look.
Look cool.
Look directly in the camera. Why do some people get to wear sunglasses and some don't? And some of them are in hats and some of them aren't.
Choice.
I suppose it depends if you've got a name sponsor, right? I think Schumacher was wearing his 1N1 hat or something. It's like, yeah, that's because like they're probably paying him to do that. And Alonso's wearing Kamoa, of course, his clothing brand. So it's weird. Oh, why, Toto? No, don't do that on the. You're a. He's just everything that Christian Horner isn't. Oh, and Zach Brown, like, he's the dad. He's the dad of the group.
He's the daggy dad.
I just want. All I really want is like a travel show where it is Zach Brown, Christian Horner, and Toto Wolff, and they've got to drive across.
My three dads.
Yeah. And
Christian Horner's the cool stepdad.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Full House, hang on a second. Wait a second.
Never watched Full
We're
House.
Cracking this. You're kidding me.
I know
this
I'm
way it
familiar with the
works.
show. No, tell me.
I'm going to have to be here all alone. John Stamos, Christian Horner, the main guy, Bob Saget's guy. So who are the other two? We've got Toto Wolff and Zach Brown.
Zach Brown, yeah.
So Bob Saget's character, clearly Toto Wolff, and then the comedian one, Zach Brown. Like that's
okay.
You know, I mean, if you knew what I was talking about, you'd be like, your mind would be blown right now. You wouldn't even be able to make words.
I'm annoyed that Benoni changed his glasses though, that he doesn't have the fun like circle ones anymore.
The meme that went
why did they make him crouch over so much in that photo? Like he was like, I'm also the Gollum.
Natural hunch. He's like Mr. Burns. He can't stand up straight. The meme that everyone posted about Benotto was speaks fluent English, insists on speaking Italian, which is just so true.
Every Italian. That's literally all of them.
It is.
Of course. And you know what? Yeah, fucking reasonable. Like, it's a great language. And why should I, like, if you can accommodate me speaking in Italian, then
exactly,
do it.
That's the thing. As long as you're okay with it, I love doing it. I guess that's true. If I could speak Italian, I would do it at every opportunity.
I like that Toto owns his dandruff. And he calls things out. They're like brushing his thing. He's just like, lots of creases. They're like, no, not just creases, like dandruff then, huh? And they're like, he's like, it is.
Let me float an idea. Toto's the kind of guy who would get a bit of talcum powder, sprinkle it on his shoulders, and then sit down and go, oh no, I have dandruff. Please drop. I'm so flawed. It's like, if you told me that was a manufactured moment, I'd believe it.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. Yeah, but he
manufactured a relatable flaw.
Yeah, he keeps like a little bit of mess in the console in his car to be like when passengers get in, like, I've got a lot on. So that
when a valet parks his car, I could be like, sorry about the mess.
Oh, yeah. I mean, feel free to eat any of the unwrapped chocolates if you want them.
I'm going to do my classic thing of just now realizing that I can turn on subtitles. I'm going to do that.
Oh, I've had them on the whole time. I thought they turned them on for you too.
No, this is the thing. This is what I was saying last time I realized this. I have to also do it. Anyway. Mm-hmm. So we're back to Will Buxton and Jenny Gow. Will looks exactly the same.
Speaking of Will Buxton, I got a great text from a friend of mine.
Oh, great.
That's the story. Just a nice text. But it was
so nice to hear from people.
All it said was...
You love to hear it.
How big of a personality is Will Buxton in Formula One? And I thought that was a great question because we talk about the rise of like Christian Horner and Toto Wolff. Will Buxton also. Like, people, if you don't watch Formula One, but like if you just go and like shotgun 4 seasons of Drive to Survive, you're like, I've heard all about this, I want to get involved. You'd be like, Will Buxton must be, like the most in the know man, like of Formula One. Yeah, exactly. Like he's
boy, that's funny.
Like a David Attenborough of Formula One or something. But he's just, he's fine. Like he's good. Like our feelings of Will Buxton are well known. Nothing against the man. He's got a hard job on this show sometimes to be like, the wheels are round so that the car can move forwards and backwards.
He plays that role. He throws himself on that grenade for us, the audience.
Yeah, but I wonder if he thinks he's doing a service.
Yes. No, I was going to say that. Look, I rib Will Buxton all the time, but he is smarter than he comes across in this show. But
yeah,
at the same time, I do think that what you're seeing here is pretty much who he is. And what you imagine he thinks of himself, I agree. I think he does think that of himself.
You think he gets home and tells his partner, look, it was another hard day, but I'm doing God's work
after 1 or 2 hours of looking at himself in the mirror? Yes, he does that.
You know what? You're always welcome on the show, Will. If you want to do your own
anytime.
Drive to Survive with Dare to Swear with us and come on the show and give us a behind the scenes, like, well, actually that day, we actually film all of those voiceovers in one day. and I do the whole season wrap up.
What I do
One take.
is I game out, I war plan every possible scenario in the championship, and I give 100 quotes about each one. Like, it's grueling, but then I don't have to. I take 364 days off after that.
I was going to say he does it the opposite way. He comes in at the end of the season, and they just ask him to describe the season for an hour, and then they make the show around what he describes. And that's why it sometimes feels disjointed, because it's his rememberings of the season.
Maybe. I mean, they've got to work with what he gives them. He's a smart man. So we're gonna we're getting glimpses
Gunter
here of
speculating on Toto's sleeping habits. He's had 7 years of fantastic sleep because he's had nothing to worry about. It's like, I think he probably fucking has, though. I think he probably worries about that Formula One team every waking moment, and there's not a lot of sleep during the season for Mr. Toto.
He's not sleeping much this week at the moment, then.
Yeah, I wonder if it's quite freeing, though, knowing your car's a bit shit. So you just kind of be like, well, all right. See, look, he's got a hard life. Toto looking out over Monaco. Oh, so in the background of that shot.
Yeah, tell me.
That curved hotel, I stayed in that hotel.
Ah, that's cool.
That's the Monaco Bay Resort, I want to say.
Did you see Toto while you were there?
No, I was not. Although, I mean, he might have been in town. It was a week before the Monza Grand Prix, so yeah, he probably would have been at home. Yeah, sure.
I feel like if Toto's in town, you know. I feel like there's an air. There's something in that's just a vibe. Like Toto's near.
A wolf vibe.
Yes, a wolf vibe. That's exactly right. Like everyone's, like the hairs on everyone's neck is just up. And if you're trying to walk down a corridor and you just see black coming towards you, and his broad shoulders just touching both sides of the corridor, you probably know Toto's coming.
This is great. Oh, I love this. The Horner's Toto did fucking nothing there and has never done anything there. And it's I don't know if that's the case.
Christian Horner, a few years at a team before the best Formula One engineer came in and made us an unbeatable bulletproof car, which won us 4 straight championships. But unlike me, Toto was just given his advantage.
Yeah. And also never had to make my own power unit and only ever complained about the ones we were given from everybody.
Yeah, that's true. Won everything and still said that they were garbage.
Yeah, and had
trashed them.
One of the most prolific driver skill young people come through a program that I wasn't even in charge of or building. We are the only team in Formula One that has another team that we can also learn from and bring other people through. It's great.
Some people just born under a bad sign. Poor old unlucky Christian Horner. Married to a Spice Girl, living the life, riding a horse, jogs in a fancy hoodie. What more could you ask for? You wouldn't be dead for quids. I remember in our
hoodie.
When we did our preseason recap, I did call out how British it was to be, and he's named the horses after the drivers. How British is this? And then later, Lando will play golf. I'm like, man, it's like they've said, can you just be extra British for the show? They're like, yeah, of course. Oh, are you kidding? Of course.
Can you be extra British? Of course I can. Let me just... I turned it off for a little bit. Let me just turn it back on.
Dial
more
up
British.
The British.
But I mean, they might as well be royals, right? These two. You've got the Queen of a Pop era, and then the self-anointed king of Formula One.
Christian Horner. Be
and his prince son, who I always imagine is in the background somewhere, Max Verstappen.
What do you mean you imagine he's in the background?
I just always imagine him.
He's sort of in the shadow.
Christian keeps Max close at all times.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it's because he's not in the show. He was always on the periphery. He was almost in the show.
I feel in our world, in the super licensed universe bubble, we've established that Christian Horner is the pathetic one that kind of latches on to the greater talent, which is Max Verstappen. Yeah, right. Isn't that what we do?
Yeah, but I don't know. In that scene, I don't think Christian thinks that. I think that Christian Horner thinks
that's true.
That he chooses the winners and losers, that he's the kingmaker. Maybe not the king himself. Maybe Christian Horner's more like Vizier than he is Aladdin, I suppose.
Solid.
I really want to come back to my idea of having Christian Horner, Toto Wolff, and Zach Brown, and I'm going to throw Gunter in there as the designated driver.
Gunter is the wacky neighbor.
Yeah, but just driving across Europe. There's a show where 3 vaguely food lads get together and do this. It's Gordon Ramsay. It's Fred from First Dates Restaurant. He's like the maitre d', and then that's a reality TV show. And then this other Italian guy whose name escapes me just this 1 second, who's also chefy, like a celebrity chef. And they just have antics. It's a little bit like Top Gear, but it's also as scripted as Top Gear. But it's fun. I want that for these Formula One dads to go on get a caravan or just a big car, and you all have to be in it and go around and have adventures.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
extend the Formula One property into a bad Netflix series that is not documentary.
I've watched my share of Gordon Ramsay. Like, I'm not saying there isn't an appeal, especially with him and other people, like on a road trip, because like all those tensions of like, someone ate the last chocolate bar and he just like sits in it, just stews in it for days, suddenly it comes out in a fiery expletive-filled burst.
Yeah,
it could be
but then also wants to have fun.
No, wait a second. That's not good.
I love that advice. Go faster, Pierre.
On-track racing.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Gotta love it.
Oh,
so true.
All right.
We've got real racing here, though. This is happening.
He's the most experienced driver in the team of 2. I don't know.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it when it's his episode. And you know what someone says about it.
I actually think that's untrue. Who's the team principal at AlphaTauri? Don't they have an XF1 driver? Oh, I should know this.
At AlphaTauri, as a team principal, isn't it still that other guy? That old guy? Mr. Oldman?
AlphaTauri.
As soon as you say it, I'll be like, yeah, that guy. Mr. Slightly Balding?
Yeah. Tell me who's the boss?
Who's the boss is a totally different show, but Toto would be the Tony Danza character. And then, let me think. Who's the oldest of the team principals? Probably this AlphaTauri guy that we can't think of the name of. It could be Stella. And then we just need an Angela. And then an Alyssa Milano stand-in who could be...
Alyssa Milano,
maybe,
great.
There's a reference. There you go. Now I'm in your wheelhouse.
No,
she was in a show called Who's
play
the
this
Boss?
game.
Yes.
Franz Tost is who I'm thinking of, but he's not a Formula One driver. He competed in Formula Ford and Formula 3. You know the other team principal listed for AlphaTauri? Can you guess?
No, I can't.
Helmut Marko.
A team principal, I guess so. It's a bit like the way, it's if you think of Red Bull as a Commonwealth, he's like the Queen.
Yeah, I was going to say that I didn't think that Pierre Gasly was the most experienced driver in the AlphaTauri team because I thought that maybe Franz Tost had been a Formula One driver, but that's wrong.
I see what you're getting at.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Well, he's also not a driver.
Wrong and bad.
Correct.
No, he's not a driver, but that doesn't mean that, he's not a driver right now, but he would be the most experienced driver. He is an experienced driver, is what I mean.
I appreciate
if Mark Webber was the team principal at AlphaTauri, he would be the most experienced driver in the team.
Well,
but he's not driving for them. But he is the most experienced driver.
Sure. Okay. I'll give you that. Your
halfway through the episode and I'm getting deep into the semantics. 2 questions for Toto because you're not first.
It's really let's build the rivalry. Let's we could show whatever we want. They've got masks on. You could just be making any of this up. But let's dial up the fact that there's a rivalry. In case you didn't get it, Red Bull and Mercedes, they don't get on.
Yeah.
I feel like there's even just in those few clips there, they really paint Christian Horner as the sort of, I don't know, lower class or more relatable, just rough and tumble. He's like the Captain Kirk to Toto Wolff, sort of the Picard. I'm desperately looking for a pop culture reference that you understand.
Oh, Star Trek's not my game either.
What? Jeez, but you know those people, right?
I know.
You know there's someone called Captain Picard, Jean-Luc Picard. Even I know all 3 of his names, and I don't like.
It's very enterprising of you to bring that up as an example. This is the best.
Work. Here we go. This is the scene. Let's savor it. Butter, tomato, salt.
Tomate, salz.
espresso
And
with
she wants
lactose-free milk.
that's eggs. And coffee
It's
with
just
milk.
like,
Cafe.
I'll just have a salad,
meat,
please.
Milch.
Whatever you've got.
What's cow? Coo.
High maintenance.
Coo.
That's the thing. Toto Wolff, high maintenance.
No, he just is exacting. Like, if I was in his position, I would be like, yeah, I want these things. Like, when you order a latte, that's what you're getting. You're getting coffee with steamed milk in a specific way. And if I was the boss, I'm just going to say it right now. If I was the boss of a fucking Formula One team, I would be very specific about what I would like to eat because we are a high-performing team and I am a high-performing person in a high-performance role. Give me the bread that I want. I know you've got it back there.
I know
What am I paying for?
Out of me. Don't tell me you don't have it. Go there and toast it, and I want lactose-free milk in a latte.
Yeah, and all he wanted was some... Maybe it's just the German that put you off. He just wanted tomatoes and eggs. It's not complicated.
It's
tomatoes
not
and
what
eggs.
he asked for. It's the way he asked for it.
Do you think if it was more like... So let's say he was like, could I have eggs poached on English muffins, and I want hollandaise sauce, and I want like ham that has also been cooked in the pan, and I want that assembled. That would make him sound like a dick, right? But if he just said, I'll have the eggs Benedict, actually. Like, that makes him sound less like a dick, but it's the same order. Do you know what I mean? He's just asking for a few things by their nature. But not like,
no, the way,
if he just been like, can I just get a BLT? Actually, that's just like,
the way
it's just
you said it. You said it was like, could I get a muffin and maybe some ham and poached egg? But if you have any hollandaise, if it's not too much trouble, don't worry. But if you have hollandaise, can you just drizzle some on top? That's the way you said it. But what he said was tomato, salt, lactose-free thing, not crunchy enough. Bring me more crunchy. That's the way he was asking for it. And you didn't
I want
represent
7 out
that.
of 10
You weren't
crunch. Yesterday it
comparing
was
apples.
6, not enough crunch.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. You did it wrong yesterday. Do it right today.
No.
That's right. Why isn't
This
there
is
a
not
supercard
right.
of Toto orders breakfast and they bring it and then he's bashing the table. Headphones fall off. Gordon Ramsay and Toto Wolff. There's a reality show.
There is a show where
There it
Toto does the
fucking
ordering
is.
and Gordon does the making, and then Toto judges.
That's it. And the judging. Oh my God. And then Ramsay's stewing like, oh yeah? Let me tell you a few things about how you should run your team, mate.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm really souring on George Russell. And I think it's just because he's got a real punchable face and voice. I can't do it anymore. Only
What
for
a
you,
revelation
patrons.
this is.
But
I love this so much.
I'm fucking done with George Russell.
Is it because he's too much of a pretty boy?
He's too earnest, but also it's fake earnestness. He's just,
I
it's
wonder
like,
about
yeah.
that.
And this is, when we come to his episode, we talked about this on the wrap up, right? That it's just like, I mean, I would stay at Williams for the rest of my days if only they were good. And it's like, well, yeah.
I just love the
right.
team so much, and it
So-
kills me to leave and go to the reigning championship.
Really fuck him over and go to the greatest Formula One team in history. It's going to be really hard.
It really, like, never mind. I'll just call Toto now and tell him the deal's off. I'm going to stay here because I just bloody love you guys. I can't do that. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have to go.
I've got families to feed.
They need me there now more than ever. So I must away.
Toto, he needs more crunch, and he said to me that I could be the crunch.
And George Russell said, I can deliver thee more crunch.
In quotes, the more crunch.
I don't know why he's quoting like the bard, but look, he's a man with many layers.
I think it's a
I love this
translation
secret.
thing.
I love this secret hatred. I think a lot of people feel like this. Like they say they like George Russell. Secretly, they don't. I like that we're first on this bus. I love it.
I think that we are, and I think that I think there is a WhatsApp group that has all of the young drivers in it, and I think there is a separate WhatsApp group that has those same drivers but without Russell.
Without Russell, you reckon?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think that Charles and Pierre and Lando and Alex Albon are all, and probably Schumacher as well, they're all in a group, and they're all chatting.
Well, you keep
and
them
then-
all into WeChat, is what it is.
And there's one that, they'll all be at the pub, and George will walk in and be like, I didn't know you guys were all going to go to the pub. It's amazing that we're all here. And then they're like,
Well, yeah, it was sort of a last minute thing, and then I was going to call you, but fucking reception
You're so
here. Can
busy.
you believe it?
Also, I know you got the new team, you got the Big Daddy shoes, the Big Daddy team, and it's a lot of pressure there. We thought you'd be hanging out with Lewis, actually.
Yeah.
At the vegan burger restaurant or something, probably.
Someone said that you were busy at home plucking your eyebrows to perfection.
Yeah.
And just didn't
Are your eyes naturally that colour, or do you wear contacts? They're just so bright.
I love this. This is like just someone who, like, no one has a bad word to say about George Russell. Infamously an incredibly likable person. But we're first on the train of he sucks.
He sucks.
So he's cancelled. We're done.
I wish him ill. I hope that I hope that it goes badly. Nothing painful. I just hope that he's not successful there. And then he has to leave. And he has to go back to Williams, and Alex Albon takes his spot at Mercedes.
I want bad things. I want him to back a Kickstarter that never ships. I just want so many bad things in his life.
I want him to ask for lactose-free milk,
and it's too small, and he has to send it back. He can't get a refund. He can only get store credit. There's nothing else that he wants at the store. Oh, this is so perfect.
It's not a store he goes to very often.
There was a story recently about Leclerc getting mobbed by fans and his watch got stolen. I heard that it was because they thought it was George Russell, so they were just like, I'm going to nick his fucking watch. But wrong person.
Fucking guy.
What the fuck with this watch? This guy, I'm going to take it. I deserve it more than him.
Yeah. Oh, Toto! I love Toto in the mask, right? Because Toto in the mask, when he gets this look where he's crossed his shoulders and he's got his mic up instead of over his, so he's put the mic in the stowed, I'm on mute position, right?
Yes.
And he just had this like, of course this is fucking happening. Of course it's not going well. I told them that it's not, but there's nothing I can do. They've just got to sort it out they've just got to work it out because we can't see his face though. The mask adds a level of indifference to it, like he doesn't care at all, when he definitely cares quite a lot. He's a man of many faces and poses. Whereas Christian Horner is just Christian Horner all the time, at full speed. There is no tempo or pace change to Christian Horner. He is exactly 100% him forever.
Yeah, I feel like Toto is either very composed, very still, not like on the surface, beneath, obviously bubbling rage, but like on the surface, composed until it explodes. And then he's the complete opposite.
Do you think he's just keeping it in check all the time? And that's half his battle. And like he's always just like, yeah, you know what? It's in there. Oh dear.
Always
that bread not quite crunchy enough, huh? Right.
That's what he's furious about.
You just wait.
I asked for a half sugar. They gave me a whole sugar. What the hell am I paying these turkeys for?
Yeah, and there's almost like a exasperated, like of course it's like this. They're idiots.
Of course,
they're all idiots. And I should have fucking done it myself, but I thought that I hired the best, and here you are. And that's how I think he's going to treat George Russell when Russell doesn't win a race, and he's going to be like, I thought I was bringing you in, mate. I did you a solid.
Yeah. I thought I was clear.
Daddy.
Yeah.
And you're nothing.
We had an understanding. I'm not mad.
I'm bigger than you.
Just disappointed.
Not mad, I'm disappointed.
I could snap you like a twig. I could snap you like that.
I snapped Michael Massey. No one talks about it, but I actually I snapped him in half. I saw him in the gym the next morning and I just picked him up and I snapped him. That's why they needed two people to replace his job, because he essentially was two people after I was done with him.
Because no one said this, but he's not around anymore. He's not even alive. He's not walking the earth. He doesn't breathe the same air you and I do. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's not on the same level of the ground. He's quite, he's a few feet below. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Look, I wasn't listening
to the audio then, and I read the subtitles, and I thought that said, he's fucked up. It was, he's locked up.
He's locked up. The same thing. This is dare to swear.
Great quote. I've got no rear. That's a good quote.
No rear.
I've got no rear. Me, I got no rear. Yep.
Incorrect.
I wish I had a bubble butt. I've been in there doing squats, but I got no rear.
I had to walk behind George Russell when he went up the stairs, and now I feel like I've got no butt at all.
Oh, yeah. The Adonis. Adonis Russell is what they call him on the paddock. Donnie, mate. Why do they call him that?
Donnie,
have you seen him?
How's it going, Dono?
Walk behind him up the stairs, mate. You'll get it. Oh, you get it.
I mean, have you ever seen him lean over and just grab two bags, one in each arm, and just kind of lift them up with tense elbows? Man, it's a sight.
Have you seen him? Sometimes, after the race weekend is over, he will sometimes help the garage, pack up, and you should see him lift up one of those tyres. Usually it takes two men, but he,
yeah, gets the front of his shirt and sort of rolls it up and ties it into a bit of a knot, and just, there's a lot going on.
You got to. You've got to.
Well,
What's happening?
You've got to. Max is winning, maybe?
Yeah, I like that we get the first names of everybody in the commentary. So it's like Bono, Lewis, Lambiasi. Is that the guy's name, really? But Buxton, that's not... Wait a second. We get first names sometimes, and then we get surnames other times. Oh, you're just commentator 4. We don't get the name of the made-up
I was going to say that before. Martin Brundle, David Croft, sorry. Do you mean commentator 1 and commentator 2? Because that's all I understand in
Who's commentator 3 then?
World. Probably Mr. Fake Man or...
No, that was Mr. Fake Man. He was commentator 4. That's Mr. Fake.
I think James Allen gets a run here as well, but I'm not sure if they're using clips of their genuine commentary or...
What about what's his face? We've got Anthony Davidson, and then we've got...
Anthony Davidson.
And what about Mr. DeResta, Paul?
Oh, does he get a run?
No, he's often there when... He's number one extra when Brundo's not there, right?
Does commentary. In Drive to Survive, does he appear? Will he be commentator 7 or something?
Well, that's why maybe he's commentator 3 is what I mean.
There you go. You got to even get in early. Do you think the commentators get to nominate their number, like the
drivers? Yeah, I mean,
since I was commentating karting,
I
was 44.
Is Croft 1 or 2? I wonder about that. He's probably
the reigning champion.
Yeah, who won commentary last year?
Just saying, out of the commentary team, Martin Brundle is the most experienced driver.
That's true. It is true. You know what I like about living in one of the things... Oh, he is commentator 1, David Croft. What I like about living in the UK, one of the many things, is when you're watching other sports and David Croft is a commentator on those sports. And you're like, oh, hey, I know you from school.
What does he do? I've heard of darts.
He sometimes does the darts, yeah.
Does he do what else?
During the Olympics, I think there's they have to pull in every single commentator for everything, and you're like, you're doing archery today, and it's like, oh, what a
beach volleyball.
That's like darts,
don't know anything
right?
about it. You'll learn.
Yeah. We've prepped you with the pack. These are all the players' names. These are the rules. Watch this video, and now you got it. Right?
These are the rules.
Yeah, these are the rules. Get the ball over the net in 3 touches or less.
So this
where you bathers
on the screen. To return to the action for a second, we've set the scene now. Red Bull are a threat, but Hamilton has gotten away with one by the skin of his teeth on a technicality, on a bloody technicality.
Yeah,
the luck.
Man, that feels good, doesn't it? Just man. That's all that person was in the subtitles.
Look how angry he is. I mean, his eyes are happy, but beneath the surface, is he really happy?
Raging.
Can't believe he is. I mean,
his victories are very satisfying.
His collar's not straight enough. He's still thinking about how George Russell gets his hair that perfect. He's just furious.
Maybe George Russell should just become the new Toto Wolff. Maybe that's the long play, actually. It's like, now, look, George, come into my office. We think that's a shit-eating grin. Toto, no. George, come into the office. You're a very promising driver, right? We think you've got, a good career in front of you. But have you ever thought about management, actually, instead of being in the car and more being like what I do a bit? Maybe you could come to the office with me, like Daddy brings his kids to work days. And, you could be me for a little while.
Just saying, I think it would be really valuable for us both if we just traded bodies for a day. You walk a mile in my shoes, I walk a mile literally in your shoes. I will drive the car, and you will sit and you will look pensive. Sometimes you will bang the desk. What do you say?
Yes. You don't have to do the accent. That would be insincere. But you could, if you do want to. Just fine.
Don't be racist when you do it.
Yeah. Keep an eye on the people toasting the toast, though.
Make sure you've got to hold their feet to the fire.
Standards are important.
Otherwise, that bread will not be held to the fire.
Yeah. Of course, no one's giving up Christian. Of course, everybody's fighting. It's Formula One. There's so much money involved.
If no one had told you before, Christian Horner is in this sport to win.
So true.
That's what you tune into this series for. Exactly. Don't be so grumpy, jeez. Did you see? I was going to call it out before when the fireworks were going off, and then Christian Horner walked into the garage, and the subtitle said, "Fireworks continue exploding." Well, thanks for adding that detail.
It was quite surprising at the time. Actually, they just kept going. Like, we couldn't. We thought they were done.
I just thought when I couldn't see it, it didn't exist anymore.
All right, that's the end of that episode. I think we covered it beautifully. We're going to stop there.
We've uncovered so much. The last word's fucking Mercedes. So there you go. There's your dare to swear.
I mean, I'm a little bit hungover today. I'm just going to put that out into the world. So
here comes the backpedaling and the justifications. Look,
I'm on medication.
I had too much cough syrup today.
I feel the sillies coming on a little bit, and I've still got a lot of workday left. So, it was a funny little sojourn, I would say, down. I mean, the weirdest thing about this show, we said at the beginning, is that it's not just memory lane, it's memory corridors. Like, because you're down one, and then it's like, now look back to this other thing. It's like nested flashbacks.
Like a memory labyrinth.
Yeah.
Just, you're
like
all
this
over
flashback has a flashback. Rough. Really rough. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying our take on Drive to Survive.
I guarantee you don't hear anything like this from any other Formula One podcast. This is what you come to us for. This is what you come to the Super License Boys for, is hot takes and, controversial assessments of drivers and their likability. So anyway, we'll be back soon.
Do you ever
with some
think
more,
that this show is better than our core show? You know how sometimes the spin-off is better than the thing? Do you ever feel like that might be the case with this show? That this is a good concept?
I think it's more unique. I think it's something no one else is doing, like I said. And I think that in itself has some inherent value, which...
We let our hairs down.
I'm not saying our other show has no value, but I'll leave that to others to say.
Actually, no, let's pull up some reviews and we'll read them on the show to sizzle the show while we're in the show.
Okay. Are you going to do that now?
No, because
cool. But if you want to leave us a good review, leave it on iTunes or anywhere that you can leave a review. We'll read it on the show.
iTunes doesn't exist anymore.
An Apple podcast, far out, pedantry. It's a new thing that you're trying out for this year. It's your resolution for 2022, and I'm all about it. I'm here for it, my friend.
It's April. What do you mean, new resolution for 2022? We're halfway through 2022. You've got to be. If you've got resolutions, you better have been through some of them by this point.
You should have been done with them and then telling yourself in February it's not too late to recover. I can still tell people who don't know me yet, if I start a new job or something, that was my resolution this year and I've stuck at it. They don't know.
Yeah. I've definitely read a book a week. I know I said I wanted to read 52 and I started these new friendships and I'm telling people I'm well on track.
You've admitted to me and to everybody, you've got the sillies today. I'm going to take it upon myself to boot us home. You want to follow us on Twitter, we're at Superlicense. You want to send us an email, superlicencepodcast@gmail.com. Visit the website, superlicense.fm. The FM stands for Zach. We're just men. We're just innocent Formula men. Can't even, so silly. You can't even do the silly joke. Anyway. Right. What? You usually just say Formula Man and I laugh. I know, but I was doing the meme thing from the puppet that went viral. You know, him saying we're just men, we're innocent men? No? Oh, no. Okay. You have to send it to me later. Don't know. Can't tell you. I'm an old man. And I've been out of the loop for a long time. What's that website called that explains the memes? I think it's superlicense.fm. I think that's we're going to be doing more race recaps and more Formula One talk. And you know, we're in the middle of pivoting to this new format where we don't just cover every race. Because like I said before, everyone's doing that. So why would we do that as well? It doesn't make sense. But we talk about the bigger themes. We've got new segments. It's a fun time. So you want to check that out. That'll probably be the next thing that we put out. And then we'll put out another episode of Dare to Swear Season 4, Episode 2, the name of which is I Don't Understand. I don't know. I forgot to do my homework. Whoops. So I hope you come back for that. That'll be a fun time. And until then, anything else to add, Zach? Ace in the Hole is the next one. Ace in the Hole. Yeah, I knew that the whole time. Just testing you. Oh. Zach, you think they come up with those episode titles at the end of the season? Do you think it's like the last thing they do? Like just as they're about to ship the show, they're like, "Oh shit, we got to come up with the episode titles." Oh, what's some dumb shit that doesn't really make sense, or it's fine, but like it's so broad and stupid, like Ace in the Hole. Like it's just say that this is the Ferrari one, or this is the Lando one. Just call them that. Well, that's what people refer to it as, right? Like, I loved the Haas one, or we have to talk about the whatever one. Yeah, exactly. No one remembers the names of the episodes of things, other than like Seinfeld and Well, I was going to say it's very Seinfeld or Friends, but it's also like no one calls it like, oh, is that the one Ace Up the Sleeve, or was that Two in the Bush? I can't remember what episode that one was. Like, no. An Ace Up the Sleeve is as good as One in the Hole. That's what they say. You've got to right in the hole. Yeah, I'm looking forward to recording more episodes. I'm looking forward to more races coming up soon. It's been nice chatting to you. It's nice to get this out in front of the Patreons. Do share this with your friends as well. You got friends, right? And they're probably watching Drive to Survive, and you're like, my Formula Men mates, Zach and Rod, record a show where they talk over. It's
like a DVD commentary. Do you remember those DVDs? It's like a bonus feature. They don't put it on the Netflix thing because Netflix doesn't really do that. But it is. They've got a quiet agreement that they're the official commentary track for Drive to Survive.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. Just don't tell Netflix about it. Like, we don't really talk about it in case there's like any legal things. But yeah, anyway,
no.
It's also kind of endorsed. Like, you know, by not talking about it, Netflix, you know, they're conspicuous in their silence. So yeah, there'll be more of this to come. And yeah, for sure. The other thing is that the great thing about telling your friends about listening to the show because they've watched Drive to Survive is that they only watched it a few months ago, just like everybody else. That's why we're coming out now, because we're trying to breathe new life into it.
Yeah, but it's the second take. This is you've watched it once. You inhaled it right now. Go back to that same restaurant and slow down. Take your time. Yep. You know, enjoy every morsel. And that's really what we're doing. We're analyzing. As you heard with this episode, we dug into every minute detail of exactly what was happening on screen.
Sure.
All killer, no filler.
So, superlicense.fm. Until next time, my name's been Rod.
My name's been one of the Formula Men, Zach.
Talk to you the next time we talk to you. Thanks very much for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, yeah. No hesitation.
If it wasn't your turn, it was going to be yours.
Sometimes you just got to take it.